Ron Burgundy, what's up? Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Man, a couple things popped up in the news the last few days, man. Just want to get my opinion about. Let me see here. One second. A few little topics I want to talk about. Y'all hit that like button, man, as y'all make y'all way up in here. Blackout was good, man. Man, so I see this Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fight. They're going to push it back to November 28th. Um, Seen a statement put out by Mike Tyson saying that this inconvenience is going to be longer than what Roy Jones is going to last in the ring with him. Florian was good, man. So I thought that was funny. Um, Again, man, my opinion about this fight hasn't changed from when I first heard about it. As long as this fight doesn't affect any of the you know major titles, the four sanctioned body titles, the WBC, WBA, WBO, and WBA or the IBF, I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't interfere with the third fight between Wilder and Fury, I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't interfere with Dillian Whyte fighting Povetkin or Joseph Parker or Chalk, any of the top guys, I'm fine with it. James Dag was good, bro. Now, what I did hear though, which caught my attention, uh, is they're talking about this fight is going to be, or one of the four major sanctioned bodies is going to give a specialized title. When I read this on TMZ, the first thing that popped in my mind was the WBC, right off the top, right off the tip top. Who else up in here? P Money was good, bro. Right off the tip top, right? Because we know the WBC is good for making, and I had to write these down because they had so many of them. The GGG Canelo fight, right? They made a special belt for that one. Mayweather Pacquiao had the Emerald title, right? Mayweather McGregor had the money belt, right? We know that they have the champion emeritus. I think Vitaly Klitschko is still champion emeritus. They've had the Eternal WBC title. They've had the Silver WBC title. So I think if this is true, according to TMZ, I think the specialized belt will be made by the WBC. Another reason why I say that is Mauricio Suleiman came out, I think about 8, 9 days ago when they first announced the September fight date before it got pushed back to November 28th. But when they announced that, Mauricio Suleiman came out and voiced his opinion about the safety measures of the fight, and he wants it. Anyways, what I'm saying is he's the only one representing the sanctioning body that I've heard of come out and even talk about this fight. So a clue for me would be that I think the WBC is going to be the one that makes the specialized belt if that happens. If these reports are true that are being put out by TMZ, and also this article's on Boxing Scene as well. All right, so that's where I got my information from about this. So if that happens, I think the WBC is going to be written all over it. Written all over it. They'll call it something. It'll be the Legends belt or something, or it'll be something, man. They'll make some clever name up, and Mauricio Suleiman would try to get some money out of this. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll have the winner defend it against Evander Holyfield or some shit, or Antonio Tarver or something. Who knows, man? Maybe they'll start their own rankings and they'll rank the legends or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Who really knows what's going to happen with that? 25 Aiken Last says the Aztec belt, the Mayan belt. Yeah, they're tripping with all these belts, man. So, but my opinion about the fight, now they're saying that this fight is going to be they're going to put it on their record. So the more they keep calling this an exhibition, man, it may just be a regular fight at the end of the day. Mike Tyson says he's come out there to try to knock Roy Jones' head off. You know what I mean? So I guess we will see. When the fight was first announced, they were saying 12-ounce gloves with no headgear. But to me, man, I think we really won't know what we're going to have until probably like a few weeks until the fight. They keep taking away, adding stuff. They push back the date. Now now they're saying that judges will score the fight You know what I mean? First they said there will be no judges. Now, from what TMZ is reporting, there will be judges. I see Badu Jack was added to the card. He fighting some cat, man. The cat's like 12-0 or something like that. And another Mayweather Promotions fighter is added to the card as well, along with Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. You know what I mean? So we will see what's going to happen November 28th. All right. Another thing I want to touch on is I seen Charles Martin, man. Now look, I know a lot of you guys leave comments joking about Charles Martin, you know, going back to when he said he walks the earth like a god and all that. Look, man, and I know he left a bad taste in our mouth from his performance against AJ, but since then, no, man, all bullshit aside, since then, I know he went through the altercation we had downtown LA when he got shot. He was doing a lot of stuff on social media that people were questioning. But since all that though, man, the dude's been training his ass off, man. I know he dropped a fight to Konaki in a fight that I had Konaki winning 6-4 because it was a 10-rounder. Man, hey, Charles Martin had started. I know, you know, if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. But if he had started a little bit earlier in that fight, he could have got himself a draw or maybe won that fight. But since then, though, the dude's been putting in some work, man. He's been working at the Crunk, down, you know, out in LA. He's been working as well. The dude's been working his ass off. You go on his social media, there's no TBT pictures and vids. It's all new, up to date training footage. Charles Martin's putting in work, man. He's still a strong, uh, crafty lefty, man, that you have to respect. Now, he did fight Gerald Washington, the IBF title eliminator. When I went on Charles Martin's Instagram yesterday, or the day before yesterday, he put up a new video and he was putting hashtag, you know, just a bunch of hashtags. But one hashtag I noticed was the IBF, and he had a title eliminated with them. If you look at the IBF rankings right now, they have Pulev number one, who will be fighting Anthony Joshua sooner than later. Um, Martin's number two, three is Usyk, four Hunter, five Ruiz. Ruiz is rated top five in all four sanctioning bodies. Six, Philippe Herkovic. Seven, Parker. Eight, Tom Schwartz. How Tom Schwartz is number eight, I have no idea. Uh, Nine, Chisora, and 10, Yoka. I guess you can kind of question anybody's ranking, right? But especially Tom Schwartz. But anyways, my thing is, will the IBF, will they make another elimination bout and then have the winner of that elimination bout fight Martin in a final eliminator, or will they just take Charles Martin and have him fight somebody else in the top five or the top 10 and have him fight that person for the final eliminator? I guess we'll see what the IBF wants to do. But if they just take Martin and put him right into another put him right into a final elimination bout, you know, again, you look at the top 10 here. Pulev is out of it. He's fighting. He's number one, but he's fighting AJ. Three is Usyk. I think Usyk is going to go more WBO route because he pretty much is right in line for a title shot. And he has Chisora coming up next. At least that's what's out there. Four, Hunter. Hunter, I think, would be a good final eliminator for Martin. Or you can have Hunter versus Ruiz, the 4 and 5 guy. They fight each other. Then the winner of that takes on Martin in a final eliminator. I know that makes too much sense, right? In boxing, that makes way too much sense. Um, but I think Ruiz, he may go the WBA route. Ruiz is in a good damn position right now. I mean, he's top five all across the board, you know, so he can pretty much fight any type of eliminator, man. It's going to get him a step closer to a title shot. You know what I mean? Or do we give one of these guys, you know, like Herkovic a shot? He is number 6. You know what I mean? They got Parker at number 7. Yo, Herkovic versus Parker elimination fight would be good as well. But I wouldn't want to skip over Hunter, being that I think Usyk is number 3, and I think he's going WBO. I think Hunter, man, can probably get in one of these elimination bouts with the Ruiz, Herkovic, Parker, one of those guys. You know what I mean? But I like the track that Martin is on. I think people are underestimating him. They just looking back at the way he was talking shit before the AJ fight, and then what took place in the AJ fight. People are taking that in totality and just thinking that that's Charles Martin, and that's not true. You know what I mean? My opinion, though, but I guess we'll see how it plays out with Charles Martin. So I definitely want to tell you guys about Charles Martin because the dude's putting in work, man. He's putting in a lot of work right now. I know he's worked with Sugar Hill at the Crunk, like I said, sparring pretty much anybody he can spar. I know he does a lot of sparring with Latif Coyote. I even seen him spar with, seen some pictures of him and Michael Hunter getting it in with each other. You know what I mean? So Another person I want to talk about, his father came out on Sky Sports. Shout out to Sky Sports. Got this, read an interview or read the article from the interview they did with Peter Fury talking about Hughie Fury is going to be back November, December. And according to Peter, he's going to be back stronger than ever. Hughie's still a young guy, man. He's dropped 3 fights against some good fighters, Parker, Povetkin, and Pulev. He wasn't stopped in any of them. I thought the Parker fight was very close. I had Parker winning that fight. What did I have it? Did I have it 7-5 Parker? I think I had it 7-5 or maybe 6-4-1. Parker has some of the hardest fights for me to score. The AJ fight, yes, I thought the AJ fight was tough to score. I know a lot of you, what, AJ won 9 rounds to 3, 10 rounds to 2. I didn't have it like that. I had that shit very close. Um, Parker versus Takam was another one where I had Parker edging 7-5. The Hughie Fury fight was very close. And there was another fight. Was it the AJ, Takam, Hughie Fury? I think there's another Parker fight, man, where it was like, shit, the Dillian Whyte fight. You know what I mean? So Parker's been in some very tough, close fights, man. But anyways, Hughie Fury is going to be back. He did fight, what was the dude's name? Pavel Sauer. I think that was like in March or some shit, or it was earlier this year, I believe, or was it late last year? But anyways, man, he will be back. The thing with Hughie, man, I want to see him sit down on punches. I know he likes to stick and move and things like that, but he's too big, man, to not be just sitting down and turning into that right hand. You know what I mean? But we will see what, and then according to Peter, they want him in a meaningful fight. You know what I mean? When he does come back. So, shit, who y'all like to see Hughie Fury pair with? You know what I mean? Um, and before I get to y'all, I see y'all showing up. Maybe before I get to y'all's questions, I want to just get everything out. Then Dillian Whyte and this whole Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua thing. Now, according to reports that I've seen, I guess that Josh was going to be in attendance for Povetkin and Whyte, and then Whyte. I seen an article on the boxing scene where Whyte was saying if AJ tries to say something to him, he's going to punch him or something, or have a box with him. He said, I guess box means they're going to square up and fight. I guess that's the lingo out there in the UK. I'm not sure. Maybe one of y'all can correct me. But he said he'll have a box with AJ if AJ tries to start some shit. My thing is, I don't see why AJ would want to start anything. It's not like Dillian Whyte or Povetkin's on his radar. Hell, he's beat both of them. He's stopped them both. That's number one. And then number two, look, man, I know Dillian Whyte thinks that everybody's ducking him, right? I know he thought that Deontay Wilder was ducking him. I know he thinks that Tyson Fury's ducking him. Regardless if they have a rematch clause or not, Dillian Whyte thinks that everybody's ducking him, right? Cool, bet. But the funny thing is, man, is besides Eddie Hearn, no other promoter really wants their guys fighting Dillian Whyte. Frank Warren came out and said in the article that I seen on Boxing Scene today that if no Wilder fight, they don't want no damn Dillian Whyte. They want to fight Anthony Joshua. They don't want to fight Dillian Whyte. I know Dillian Whyte. Well, first of all, Dillian Whyte got to get past Povetkin. We just keep talking as if like he's just going to beat Povetkin, man. You got to get through that first, because Dillian Whyte is very hittable, and Povetkin has a damn good left hand, left hook. It may come down to who lands their left hook first in that fight. And on the inside, I noticed I was watching Rivas versus Whyte yesterday again, and Whyte is susceptible to getting hit with good uppercuts too, especially on the inside. We know that Anthony Joshua hurt him with a big uppercut in their fight, and the punch that hurt him in the Rivas fight that he got hurt with was the uppercut. I think Rivas landed another little glance and blow as Whyte was going down, but it was the uppercut that popped his head up that hurt him. You know what I mean? So Povetkin can throw some good uppercuts, left hooks, and overhand rights. But anyways, Frank Warren is saying that Dillian Whyte can fight Dubois. They want Joshua. Now the thing with Dillian Whyte has to understand is, look, bro, even though that I think Dillian Whyte's a good heavyweight. There's a few fights I want to see Dillian Whyte in. I want to see him fight Wilder. I know Jarrell Miller's failing all types of damn drug tests nowadays, but there's a point in time where I wanted to see him and Jarrell Miller fight. I wouldn't mind seeing Dubois versus Dillian Whyte, but it's funny that Warren is just saying like, nah, man, we want the big fight. We don't want our guy in there with you. We want him in there with Anthony Joshua. But hey, you can fight Daniel Dubois. You know what I mean? I thought that was just funny, man. But shit, Daniel Dubois has to get past Eric Pfeiffer, who's an undefeated two-time Olympian. And then they're talking about, I thought it was supposed to be Dubois versus Joe Joyce next. You know what I mean? But a lot of these promoters, man, they talk as if like some of these fights are just, uh, won without the guys getting there fighting. You know what I mean? Dubois got to get past what he got in front of him, and Povetkin, and then Dillian Whyte got to get past what's in front of him. We just keep talking like this is some foregone conclusion, man. These aren't just scrubs they're getting in there with. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it, man, that I want to cook on. Not really much going on today, man. Not, yeah, Charles Martin, Tyson Jones, Hughie Fury, uh, Povetkin, or Dillian Whyte and AJ. That's pretty much it, man. Let me see what y'all talking about. The Expert Gene, what's good, bro? James Coleman, what it do? Let me see here. Let me go up here. My man Pa says salute, Mr. Boxing, salute to you as well. Florian says WBC, Tyson Fury. Okay, you giving me the whole top 15 of the WBC. When I gave that top 10, I'm not sure what you're responding to, bro, but hopefully I said it right. I was giving the top 10 for the IBF when I went over the top 10 earlier. So hopefully I didn't say the WBC. I meant to say the IBF's top 10. What's good, James? D-Style, what's good, bro? He says, what's up, Mr. Boxing? If you have time, I would like to have you on Thursday along with Blood. We can talk heavyweights this Thursday. This Thursday might be tough, D-Style, but next Thursday, I'll probably be able to get on. Next Thursday looks more promising than this Thursday, bro. Be honest with you. But just keep in contact with me, man. I'd love to get on there. I know you do your throwback Thursdays, man. So not this Thursday, bro, but next Thursday will be better for me. Y'all go subscribe to my man D-Style Boxing. Also go subscribe to the Expert Genius as well. Paz says Hughie needs to reinvent himself. He just needs to sit down on his shots, man. When I watch him, see earlier in his career, he was a little bit more aggressive. And I know as you step up in competition level, sometimes some guys' aggression kind of sways a little bit where they're not as aggressive because they're aware of their opponent's power. You know what I mean? So they're not as aggressive they used to be against the journeyman. But I think Hughie just needs to just sit down on his shots, man. Like, he can win a lot of these fights, man. He just needs to sit down on his shots, get a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion. Lewis Hinton, what's good, bro? You say Dillian Whyte does not stay in shape. Right now, he's out in, what country is that? Portugal, I think he's out there. He looked to be in decent shape out in Portugal, but yes, his last few fights, man, he's not been in shape, especially that Marius Wach fight. I couldn't believe the shape he was in for that, man. That shit was horrible. But hopefully we'll see it. Hopefully for his sake, he's going to be in very good shape going into this fight with Povetkin. But from what I've seen, though, bro, Dillian Whyte does look to be in shape. I will give him that. He does look to be in shape. Mick Hennessy, not being funny, says Frank Warren want to be like so badly. Man, at this point, man, at his age and as much money as he's made, I don't think Frank Warren gives a fuck about being liked. That's just my opinion. Renee Sosita was good, man. He says, greetings from New Mexico. Belen, New Mexico. Gregory X was good, bro. He says, Whyte is a high-level club fighter who can present challenges, but when clean, he'll always come up short, in my opinion. Man, when you look at Dillian Whyte's skill set, man, yeah, he doesn't, and that was so funny to me when, a year or so ago, last 2 years, when people would bring up Wilder to me, when I would do a Wilder video, and they talking about his skill set. And I used to always say, like, bro, there's a grip of fighters I can nitpick about skill set, but they have other things that override having a not so polished skill set. And Dillian Whyte was one of the guys that I will always bring up, and people say, oh, you're just hating. It's like, no, I'm not just hating. There's a few other guys that I can bring up, man. They don't have necessarily that textbook skill set that they teach you in the gym. But these motherfuckers got heart, courage, power, different things, man. They can make up for that. They can compensate for not having that basic fundamental skill set. Hibrohim Williams says boxing is dead, yo. And I totally disagree with that. Jupiter B, what's good, bro? He says, who was Charles Martin fighting? Nobody as of yet, man. Nobody as of yet, but he is training, and I'm thinking it may be another. If he doesn't just take on a journeyman to stay busy, I think the next time we see Charles Martin in the ring, it'll be some type of final eliminator for the IBF. That's what I would guess. And he may take a little interim fight in between then, but I think his next big fight would be something to do with the IBF. Mike Wilkins, what's the deal, bro? James said, shit, since all these sports doing a bubble, they might as well do a tournament. I've been saying this. Yeah, a little bubble tournament. I wouldn't mind that either. G Funky 84 Boxing, what's good, bro? Y'all go subscribe to G Funky 84 Boxing. Uh Ibrahim Williams says, without fans, boxing is finished. Boxing needs the buzz from the fans. I totally agree. That's like saying the NBA needs fans. That's like saying the NHL needs fans. That's like saying Major League Baseball needs fans. I disagree with that. Ibrahim Williams, I totally disagree with that, bro. JW says, what's good, Mr. Boxing? Don't comment much, but always watch your videos. Keep it going, mate. I certainly will, man, and appreciate you tuning in. Lawrence Williams, what's good? Y'all go subscribe to my man Lawrence Williams. My man Pa says they say Whyte is just slightly bigger version of Chisora. What do you think, Mr. Boxing? Slightly bigger version of Chisora with a better jab. I think his jab is better than Derek's. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're comparable. They're compatible. You know what I mean? I think their styles are. That's why they made for good fights. That first fight. You know what I mean? That's why they made for good fights. And to me, uh, yeah, shit, they damn near married each other, man. That's why Povetkin wants Chisora in his camp. You know what I mean? He's used Chisora before, but that's why he has Chisora in his camp to mimic. And mind you, Chisora's getting ready for his fight with Usyk later on this year as well. So shit, he wants some good work from Povetkin as well. So it's not like he's just there just helping Povetkin. Povetkin is also helping him too with some good work. Good work is good work, man. You know what I mean? My man Pa says, what's up with Brazil? I haven't heard from Dominic in a while, man. Renee Salcido says, has Brazil woke up yet from the deep slumber from the Bronze Bomber? Yes, he has woken up, man. I actually seen him. He actually did a PBC little in-studio interview a while ago with, was it Abner Mares, when they talked about the loss to Wilder. You know what I mean? So yes, he's made himself. He's he's been in the public eye since that. James Dag says, Mr. Boxing, how do you rate Michael Hunter? He had a draw with Povetkin, right? Yes, he did have a draw with Povetkin. He stopped Martin Bakole. He got a victory over Kuzman. He was able to stop Ustinov. I like Michael Hunter, man. I like Michael Hunter a lot. He's in shape. He throws punches in bunches, which is a little bit foreign to some of these guys, right? They're not used to a guy in front of them throwing 5, 6, 7 punches that has a motor. Now, again, this goes back to technique and all that, right? His technique can look a little bit sloppy because he's just throwing punches. It don't matter if his right foot gets in front of him, if he's standing in his traditional stance. It don't matter if his body goes to southpaw. I mean, he keeps throwing punches, and that sometimes can bother some of these big guys because sometimes they want to just use the jab, find you with the jab. That's why guys like Chisora, even Dillian Whyte sometimes, is always going to, Andy Ruiz, who's a very good, his technique is great on the inside, but these guys that can punch in bunches, man, is going to pose problems for some of these bigger guys, man. You seen what happened to Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, right? Joshua was able to have a better looking fight because he was able to control the pace of the fight with his jab and his legs and stand on the outside. I'm not gonna get into this punches with bunches of shit with you. You know what I mean? Hunter has that ability as well. The reason why it didn't work against Usyk, because Usyk loves to throw punches and bunches, and I think what in that fight he exemplified better footwork than Michael Hunter, in my opinion. He was a little bit more accurate, a little bit more sharper with his work that he was getting off against Hunter. But I like Hunter, man. And I think Hunter has more power than people want to believe, because you got to have some power to be able to hurt Povetkin, to be able to hurt and stop a big guy like Bakole. He is hurting these big dudes, man. He just ain't buzzing them. He is hurting these motherfuckers. Kuzman, he's dropping these dudes. These dudes is 250 pounds. 200. Usanov is huge. He's like Usanov looks like a damn like he could play offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys or some shit, man. You know what I mean? So Hunter can crack, and Hunter was now when I say he can crack, I'm not saying he's Deontay Wilder, right? But what I'm saying is he has fought these guys when they were amateurs and they were all fighting in super heavyweight. And he's beaten a lot of these guys, like Andrew Ruiz. He's beaten him in the amateurs. You know what I mean? So I like Michael Hunter. G Funky 84 says I like Hunter, but I was disappointed against Povetkin. I think Povetkin has more left than we tend to believe that he should have at 40. Fighting at the now he may get old overnight, especially when you fight in that style that Povetkin likes to fight in, that come forward style. Although Povetkin, I've said this a lot, I think Povetkin is a come forward brawler, but he is a like a damn, what term did I use, man? He's a technical brawler where he likes to come in behind the jab, slight head movement. You know, he'll think his way on the inside. He's not just gonna come in full force, you know, here, hit me in my face. You know what I mean? He'll use his jab and parry a little bit. You know what I mean? He thinks his way on the inside. Just walk right in. You know what I mean? So Povetkin got a little bit left in the tank, man. I guess Dillian Whyte's gonna let us see exactly what is left. Because he will bring one thing about Dillian, he will bring the fight to you. As sloppy as he looks sometimes, as gas as he gets in his fights, as much he has to scrape and claw for victories against tough opposition, he will bring the fight to you. He's going to bring it to Povetkin. Let me see here. Mick Hennessy, not being funny, says Hunter should have stopped Povetkin. Yeah, he should have. I thought he was going to. But, man, Povetkin showed that resilience, man. You can't hang around this long and be in the upper echelon this long without having that resilience, and he was able to show it. Now, you would think usually the younger man can get you out there. And see, that's another thing Povetkin's don't have to be worried about. I think punch for punch from the eye test, I think Dillian Whyte punches harder than Hunter. I think that if Dillian Whyte gets Povetkin in the same trouble that Hunter had Povetkin in, I believe Dillian Whyte can get the stoppage. I do. But we will see. Yes, Jupiter B. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, you guys. Okay, so Brazil was trying to get a fight with Kanaki. I do remember when Kanaki was looking for an opponent. Um, Brazil was saying that he would fight him, and I'm trying to think. Was it when Kanaki fought Areola that Brazil said he'll step in a fight, or was it the Hellenius? No, I think the Hellenius was a eliminator. That was a elimination bout, so it wasn't that one. It was the Areola fight. Is when he was looking for a opponent for the Areola fight. That was about a year ago. Yeah, it was a year ago. Yeah, because I was in Vegas when that fight took place. I was in Las Vegas when they fought. And I remember it was hot as fuck that day. And I was right by the strip. And on the strip, they were promoting the who was Tyson Fury getting ready to fight? Was it Schwartz? I think they were doing promotion for the Tom Schwartz fight or some shit like that. All right. Anyways, I'm kind of going off. Let me see. Renee Saucedo says, "Why is Freza Kendo still ranked?" And you're talking about his WBA ranking. It's because he okay. So 4 years ago, was it 5 years? 4 or 5 years ago, was it that? Man, I think it was longer than that. Maybe it was. When did that happen, man? I think it was 6 years ago now. But anyways, when he fought, oh man, when he fought Ruslan Chagayev for the vacant regular WBA title, it was a very close fight, but he had a rematch clause. It was supposed to be Chagayev's next fight for the regular WBA title. The fight didn't take place because Freza Kendo got hurt. Every training camp, he was like getting hurt in all these training camps, man. So he had to sit out, sit out, sit out, sit out, sit out. Then when Chagayev lost the belt to Lucas Brown, it was supposed to be Brown and Chagayev. Something else happened. And then it was supposed to be Okendo versus Shannon Briggs. And then Shannon Briggs popped dirty because of something that was in his asthma medicine, according to Shannon. All right, so Fresnekino was supposed to fight for that WBA regular title, court ordered. He went to court for it. So that's why you always see him scheduled to fight so and so, then so and so pops because of the drugs, or Fresnekino gets hurt. And it's literally been like this for the last 4 or 5 years, bro. So that's why you continuously see Fresnekino rated in the WBA, which is crazy to me, man. But let me see here. Curtis Graham says, "Isn't it funny how Ring Magazine has Usyk listed as pound for pound fighter, but didn't have him listed as a top 10 heavyweight?" Well, one thing about me, Curtis, and I've been saying this since I've been on YouTube, bro, I don't pay Ring Magazine no mind. I'm not dissing what you're saying to me. I'm just saying I don't take their rankings serious. I haven't took the I haven't took Ring Magazine serious in about, man, I want to say before I started making videos on YouTube. I haven't took them serious, bro, since like the middle 2000s, maybe 2005. I haven't bought a Ring magazine and since 2008, 7, something like that. So yeah, maybe I stopped taking them serious around 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. I just don't take it serious. Once I heard Oscar bought it and just certain things I was seeing, I just don't take it serious. Let me see here. Hold on, Lawrence says after Martin's interim fight, the IBF a title eliminator with Hunter. Let me see. Oh well, order. Okay, I was wondering like what word is I never. Oh, okay, so there were order. So you say after Martin's interim fight, the IBF ordered a final eliminator with Hunter. Okay. Well, shit, that made the most sense. Then everybody I was naming Hunter, that's who they should, because that. See, now this is what when you make the rankings make sense. So if that's true, then yeah, Hunter number 4, that is the fight to make. Because Pulev's number 1, he's fighting. Usyk's number 3, but we know Usyk is going to the WBO route. Martin's number 2. The next highest rated available guy is Hunter. That makes the most sense. Jupiter B says Hunter put too much in the first round, didn't pace himself in the Povetkin fight. He did exert a lot of energy, man. He was trying to get him out of there. He went in there and tried to put it on the old man. You know what I mean? But that's what you got to do with older fighters, man. You got to test their legs, test their stamina, man. James Dag says, who would I like in a match between Luis Ortiz and Povetkin? Ooh, shit. That's a tough one, man. Ortiz versus Povetkin. That's a tough fight. If Ortiz can utilize his jab and keep Povetkin on the outside while lining him up for that surgical left hand, whether it's a left uppercut, a straight left, he's hooking around Povetkin's guard. I think he has a good jab. That's a tough fight, man. My wife thinks Ortiz. Mm. I'll probably slightly favor Ortiz just because of the jab. And on the inside, and don't forget, man, Ortiz will surprise you on the inside with them uppercuts. As Brian Jennings. That's what got him in trouble, was that damn uppercut on the inside. I'll favor Ortiz, but that's a good fight. Style, I think it's a good fight. JW, you know what? I've been hearing that, bro, and I couldn't find any research on that. JW asked me, didn't Povetkin beat Ortiz in the amateurs? Would love to see the fight now. Everybody keeps saying that. But I've never seen, even if you go and try to look up who Povetkin has fought in the amateur, or yeah, Povetkin and Ortiz. When I did the research, I couldn't find that they fought. And then the rebuttal to that was somebody said that Povetkin's old trainer said they fought. Okay, well shit, I've never seen any I haven't seen no tournament they fought in, none of that. And I know around that time, Aliana Solis was the top super heavyweight for Cuba back in those days. Oleander Solis was their top guy. That Cuban amateur system is tough, man. That shit's tough. People, why didn't Ortiz dominate shit? Because he had Oleander Solis. He was tough. Them dudes is tough, man. I know when he stepped up and fought Klitschko when he got his shot, his leg was hurting that fight. I remember watching that fight. They had that on ESPN. I remember that Vitaly Klitschko versus Solis on ESPN. But Solis was a very good amateur, man. James Coleman says, Mr. Boxing, who's the dude from Cuba that was supposed to fight Ali, or they wanted those two to fight? You talking about Stevenson? Teofimo Stevenson. You see that? Your phone. My man Jupiter B says, hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Trying to see something real quick. You still want seafood?
Yes.
You want to get that boil?
Yeah, right now.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, Jupiter B says, not heavyweight, but did you see Jamal James fight Saturday? No, he from Minnesota. Of course, I checked out Jamal, bro. That's the first gym I ever trained in was COD, Circle of Discipline, over in South Minneapolis, Jupiter, and that's the home. In a second, yeah, I'm done with that. That's the home of Jamal James. Robert Brandt, who's in the Terrence Crawford camp right now, he was training that summer. This was summer 2010.
That's the guy you sparred, right?
Yeah, I sparred Robert.
Yeah.
Javante Starks was in that gym, but yeah, Jamal James. So man, it was great to see Jamal get that victory. I know fans were laughing because he was calling out Pacquiao. I'm biased. I want to see that young man beat the hell out of Pacquiao. I want to see him beat Crawford. I want to see him beat Spence. I want Jamal James to be undisputed welterweight champion of the world. You know what I mean? I'm always pulling for the hometown guys, man. So I'm very biased when it comes to the Minnesota fighters. But yes, I saw the fight. Um, I think Jamal may have some trouble when he goes against those higher guys like that. I'm not sure if they're going to respect his power. I know power doesn't mean everything, but you at least got to be able to make God respect you. And his reach really isn't as tall as Jamal is. And I'm 6'5", because when I saw him in person, I couldn't believe he weighed 140 pounds. He's about 6'2". You know what I mean? About 6'2". So I couldn't believe he weighed even back. Bro, he's been maintaining this weight for like 10 years. At least when I met him in 2010, he was 140 pounds then. So he's been maintaining this 140, 147 for 10 years, bro. That shit's crazy, man. So yeah, shouts out to Jamal James, shouts out to Circle of Discipline. What's his trainer name again? Sankar, shouts out to him. Shouts out to the whole gym, man. But yeah, I want to see Jamal James do well. James Dax says repping Minnesota. Yes, indeed. Born in Chicago, but I'll spend majority of my life here in Minnesota. Went to college in a few different states, but majority of my life, my 40 years on earth, have been in the Twin Cities. You know what I mean? James, I'll answer that as Teofilo Stevenson. And don't get him mixed up for Felix Savant, the other great amateur Cuban who did his fighting in the 90s, though. He was supposed to fight Mike Tyson, but that never came to fruition. Yes, hey, let it be Pac-Man. You know what I mean? Because I think he'll get his biggest purse if he fights Pac-Man. Ricky E245 says, what do you think about Kell Brook versus Terrence Crawford? I think Kell Brook is damaged goods, man. Yeah, I think Crawford gonna put hands on him. I think he's gonna probably outpoint him or maybe stop him late. But just a quick synopsis, I just think Kell Brook is damaged goods at this point. James said he's pulling for Roy in that fight against Tyson. Yeah, Roy got some fans, man. James Dagg says born in Tennessee. and played college ball next door in Wisconsin. Bro, man, it's funny that you say Tennessee because I was just showing my down at my storage. I got medals and everything, and the AAU team I was on. I was playing for 16 and under. I was 15. I started, but we had played in a national championship game on the campus of the University of Indiana at Assembly Hall. That's where they play their games at. And the team we beat in the championship was a Tennessee All Star team. This was the summer of I was getting ready to be a sophomore.
96?
Yeah, because I was, yep, I was going to be, yeah, so it was 96. So it was the summer, let me see, 96. It was summer 96. It was either summer 95 or 90. It was summer 96. Uh, Razo says, what do you think about the Polish boxing world? Galata, Adamek. Well, shit, man. Andrew Galata, uh, to me, at least within the last 30 years, is one of the best heavyweights to not win a world title. I definitely will say that about Andrew Galata. I thought Spilka, Zimnock. I always wanted to see Spilka versus Zimnock. I remember when Spilka head like literally y'all. If y'all go type in Artur Spilka and Krzysztof Zimnock, they're two Polish fighters, heavyweights. Yo, Zimnock was doing an interview and Adamek, or not Adamek, I'm sorry, but Spilka somehow they're right face to face with each other in this interview. And literally, bro, Spilka headbutted this dude right in his face. And I always wanted to see them two fight. Um, I believe Zemnock holds a win over Deontay Wilder in the amateurs. I believe he does, if I'm not mistaken. You know, but hey, y'all, was it the Tennessee Travelers? I'm not. I just remember they're from Tennessee, bro. I can't remember. I know in the semis, James, we played. Well, the first game we played the Chicago Heat, and it was about we played about 15. Man, it seemed like it was like 15 pool play games before the tournament, before they started the seeding. And yeah, we did play 15 pool play games. We went 14-1. And the one game we lost, the one game we lost, I missed the last second shot, and I got into it with a teammate about it. But I ended up making the All Star team. If what's funny is me and that teammate, our point guard. I'm not gonna say his name, but our point guard, me and him ended up making the All Star team of that tournament, and we played in that game. But I missed the last second shot in the pool play game, and we lost the game. We're seeded number one. I forgot what the Tennessee team was rated, but we ended up playing them in the championship and beat them. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Hold on, let me see. The expert genius says my phone died. Don't know if you answered my question. If you did, I missed it. Damn, bro, I forgot what you. I'm sure I did, bro. What'd you ask me, expert? I'll answer if I didn't. Let me. I'm not sure what you asked me. Yo, James. The Virgo Ortiz dude. Now with the welters and all that, I gotta get my weight up when it comes to the guys that aren't named Spence and all them, the main guys, Garcia and Porter and all them. But yo, that Jerome Ennis dude, that's the Boots dude, right? Jerome Boots Ennis, that motherfucker can fight, man. Y'all watch some of his fights? Because on my Apple TV, I have just fights that come on right on after each other. And one of his fights popped up, man. That Youngin can fight, man. Renee Salcido says, free Ron Jeremy. with a Ron Jeremy avatar.
Crazy, yeah.
Is Ron Jeremy locked up? Fucking Ron Jeremy. Yo, Jupiter B. Ennis can fight, man. I don't know his future or whatever, but just the hand speed. That's one thing about him when I watch him though. Is sometimes with fighters that fight like him, you think they're gonna burn out within the third round because he throws so many damn punches. But his combinations were accurate, they were crisp, they were sharp. Yo, Youngin can fight, man. Youngin can fight. I don't know how far he'll go or who he can or can't be at the top, but if he can continue that shit and his chin can hold up, Youngin gonna be a problem. Youngin's gonna be a problem, man. Let me see. I'm trying to see what expert genius, what question he asked me. I can't find this shit. Iceman Cummins says Tommy Morrison's son's not doing anything. They need to fight at least 6-10 times a year. Yeah, man.
The expert genius says, how do you see the Spence, Garcia, and Povetkin Whyte going? I got Spence by TKO and Povetkin by KO or MD.
Well, hey, man. Expert. If Spence is anything that he was that I seen previous to this car accident, I got him beating Garcia. Um, Probably unanimous decision because it's hard to get Garcia to put him on his ass. Uh, I gotta do more of a in-depth style breakdown of this, but just quick though, if Spence is anything that he was before this accident, I'm going with Spence. If there's any type of, if anything ain't right, Garcia's gonna win this fight, man. That's what I think. But I'm gonna go with Spence. And then there was one more I want to answer before I get off here real quick.
Well, how's Povetkin Whyte going?
I already talked about Vivek and White.
That was part of his question.
Okay, I'll talk about that. Tommy Morrison. Yeah, the Morrison boys. McKenzie, he needs to fight more. And Trey Lippy Morrison. They both, yeah, you're right, bro. They both just need to fight more. I know Trey was going through a lot of shit with injuries, man. I know one year was just totally scrap. I think that was the year 20, I want to say 2017 or 18. What the following year after he beat Ed Lattimore on Showbox when they're both undefeated prospects. That next calendar year, Trey's supposed to have a year to be on TV. He has some Showtime wanting him back. There was another TV network that wanted to sign him to get some of his fights, and then he fucked up his hand in sparring. He broke his hand. Then he had a big nasty ass gash on his eye that put him out for a while. And I did videos on those when they took place. So he had one year that was just ridden with just injuries, man. Unfortunate. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all stopping, man. About to go pick up this seafood boil with my wife and get my grub on, man. You know what I mean? I did a hard workout earlier too. I'm hungry as hell. But till next time, man, y'all be good. I'm gone.